to Ethan Live. It is Wednesday, August the 6th. Weather is a little bit nicer out today, although the humidity is coming back.
Yeah.
We are continuing our series with some Hero Dog folks. The Hero Dog Awards, the semifinals are out. Voting is now until September 15th. So make sure to go to AmericanHumane.org and check out all the cool stories. But one of the things we wanted to do on here was highlight those semifinalists because as someone who went through the process and has now gone back a couple of times, I think what people really like are the stories.
Yes, we do.
To hear so much about the heroes and the stories, and I'll probably say this on all 25 of these, but Dr. Robin makes a really good comment every time we see her that there's heroes on both sides of the leash, and I think it's good to hear stories about everyone that's involved. So with that being said, today we want to welcome to the show Hero Dog semifinalists in the Emerging Hero and Shelter Dog category, Lieutenant Dan and his person, Laura. Laura, how are you doing?
Hi, we're doing great. How are you?
We're doing good. Thank you so much for joining us. I think we are sort of in the same. You are in like Southern Ohio, correct?
Yep. Just not too far from the river, really. I live in a little village town, actually, right up from the river. So just outside of Cincinnati.
As a friend of ours says, she's just up the road a bit.
Yeah, just good old Ohio Valley.
Yeah.
Before we jump in and talk about all the cool things that Lieutenant Dan, you guys are doing, Lordy, can you tell us a little bit about your background before Lieutenant Dan and sort of the things that you were doing in your life and how you got into kind of dogs and rescue?
Yeah. I mean, dogs and rescue have been my whole life. I was the kid bringing everything home that I could bring home and begging for us to be allowed to keep it. So I've grown up with a variety of animals, dogs, cats, pocket pets, tried to bring home a snake. The parents didn't like the snake.
Oh.
So animals have been a part of my life since I was a kid. I originally wanted to be a veterinarian. I did not fully go veterinarian route, but I do work in veterinary medicine, and I've been in veterinary medicine now. I think almost 20 years now. Started as a kennel tech cleaning kennels, and then worked as a veterinary assistant. And now I'm a clinical supervisor in an emergency room around here. And then I also work for our local Humane Society for Cincinnati, our largest humane society covering all of Hamilton County. I work on their medical team part-time and help with our high volume spay and neuter days. So animals have been definitely a part of my life for a long time. I have fostered for several different rescue organizations or done it through myself if they've come home, just shown up in our yard and we've helped them and tried to find them a home. But we've also been fostering for Cincinnati Animal Care, who I work for several years now. And I have lost count of the number of fosters. People like to ask me that, and I couldn't even tell you anymore. But I've been fostering now between different organizations for, I think, about 15 years. So,
was Lieutenant Dan a foster fail?
No, I knew I wanted him.
Oh.
There's a couple that just, you see them and they hit, and you know that, hey, I want to help this dog or this cat sometimes, or other animals. But we have some that are just truly fosters. I've only foster failed twice in all the 15 years.
Oh, wow.
But we also, my husband and I, probably more so me, as much as he loves or doesn't love it, no, he puts up with all of everything I bring home. I've been drawn to the medical needs and the animals with more significant needs for a long time. Lieutenant Dan is not the first medical need dog that I went and wanted to help and brought actually from another state or halfway across the country. So we've done that with several medical dogs that we've personally either adopted or fostered.
Oh, wow.
That's very cool. First of all, thank you for that work that you do, because as someone who, through previous job became really good friends with vet techs and vets, and it's a rewarding job in a lot of ways, but it's also very tough.
Mhm.
And so thank you for that. And even the high volume spay and neuter, we've gotten into a little bit of that. And so bless you for doing that, because, you know, you started asking around in different communities about what is one of the best ways or the most effective ways to help. And almost everyone will say spay and neuter, spay and neuter, spay.
Yep.
So we try to do a little bit of that. So so Lieutenant Dan, was he in one of the shelters you were working in, or was this the dog you brought from across the country? How did Lieutenant Dan come into your periphery?
Yeah. So he was actually born in North Carolina. Typical kind of, hunting dog people. And he came out a little different and very special. He came out half the size of his litter mates and with severe hind limb deformities affecting his tail and both of his back legs and making them unusable from the time he was born. So they luckily were very nice people, and they got him some help and someone who wanted to try and give him a chance. And they got him linked up with a rescue in Florida. And we follow a lot of coonhound pages on social media because they have a special place in my heart, the coonhounds. So we saw him. My husband actually saw him first and showed me this dog and was like, look at him. He's so fun. He's so full of life. He was like drawn to his profile. And I was like, I'm just going to call and ask questions. And he's like, don't do it. And I was like, I'm just going to ask questions. And then I think it wasn't even 2 days later, we were arranging transport and I was meeting them while they brought Lieutenant Dan from Florida up to us. So
it's a very cool story. And so Lieutenant Dan is a Treeing Walker coonhound.
Yep.
That's there's so many different little coonhound breeds. That's one I hadn't heard from. So you get Lieutenant Dan, and he is like around 5 months old, I think.
Yeah, he was about 5 months old when we adopted him.
And you kind of knew, especially with your background, you kind of knew there were going to be some challenges coming up and some surgeries and some medical needs. Talk a little bit about, that first few months, and even a little bit further about his surgeries and the medical procedures he had to go through.
Yeah. So we knew when I called to inquire, it was clear he had a significant deformity, and they weren't really sure what was causing it. They had done some radiographs, but didn't have any clear answers. And just were like, hey, if someone wants to give this special dog a home, he's here. But hadn't gone into any significant testing. So luckily I do work at a emergency and specialty hospital. So we quickly got him evaluated by our board certified surgeons, our neurologist. Our criticalist was even involved with his care initially. He had a full spinal MRI to see if he had any deformity that was going to be progressive or if there was anything we could fix to help with his deformity and help as he continued to grow. He had several different types of infectious testing, because there are a couple infectious protozoa parasites that can kind of start at the back end and work their way up and can be deadly if not treated. So we went through that route and ultimately found that his spinal cord and everything was normal and his testing was normal and he had the full works, and realized he just probably was unfortunately in too big of a litter and got a little squished and kind of grew that way because his bones were normal, but they were contracted, and he had been that way since he was born. So 5 months in, trying to do anything about it, it wasn't possible. We talked through every avenue of, can we do partial limb amputations? Can we do rehab therapy? We have a really great rehab department to try and work with him. And they're like, this is too severe. And it was painful for him. The wheelchair we had for him initially to help when he wasn't running around on his own. The way that wheelchairs work, their legs, if they have them, have to sit in little saddles and go through. And I was having trouble pulling his legs apart because they hurt because of the muscles being so contracted, and his tail was stuck straight up. He had no feeling. It was not usable. That is the one part of his spine that it made a 90-degree turn, and we couldn't fix that either. So they recommended a double hind limb amputation because he was already having some thinning of the skin that would lead to pressure sores. It would lead to extra weight on his shoulders and his spine, which were already doing all of the work. And as he grew and got older, they were concerned for a lot of spinal issues and shoulder issues, as well as the constant problems with the pressure sores. So he had a double hind limb amputation at 6 months of age. He did not care. The same day of his surgery, he was bebopping right out back to our little dog walk area at work, and we got him home, and it was everything we could do to keep him calm during his recovery period, because he was ready to just go. He's like, all this weight is off of me. I'm faster. Look how I can move. He was like, this is great. We did try and keep his tail, and then he broke it. He ended up with a compression fracture that he didn't even know. Like, he never could feel it. We didn't originally know, and it actually caused him to get really sick. So we had to amputate his tail shortly after, which was a lot of work for a dog who's as active as he is. He actually, unfortunately, had to have it revised once. We went through a large number of weeks of bandaging and casting and things to try and keep him like safe while he healed. But he finally did, and he loved it. It was amazing, because we realized that before that, the way his tail was formed, he couldn't roll on his back like a normal dog. And that's, as soon as he was healed, we're like, he can roll on his back. And he was so excited. He's on his back. It's like, oh.
What amazing resilience, huh?
Yeah. So.
And what a cool, like, you see this little dog that's gone from North Carolina to Florida, and you have a desire to help out dogs with special needs, and you see him and you get him brought from Florida, and for him to turn out to be, just personality wise, this happy, energetic little dog. How cool was that to see his personality just sort of take off?
Yep. He definitely, his personality is, I mean, he is everything. Like, he runs the household. You cannot like not be happy when you see him. You come home and he's running up and he's so excited to see you. He smiles like all the time. So it is very easy to just fall in love with him very quickly.
Yeah.
He also, as you can tell, has an obsession with licking meat.
So he's doing well. He's doing well now through all these surgeries. He's doing really well.
Yeah, those all he recovered from. He was good to go before he was a year of age. It was a couple months of struggles. We've had a couple medical hiccups since. He actually has had 2 soft tissue sarcomas. He had to have full course radiation 2 years ago now. He had one removed, and you can see, come here, bub. His little bald spot here. He had a tumor the size of a pea removed. I found it. We immediately got it tested. We removed it, but we couldn't get good margins, and he had to have full course radiation over 20 visits over the course of 3 weeks to get rid of the rest of the cancer cells. But he was fully cleared. And his second one a year later, luckily we got really good margins on. So he's cleared, but we do a lot of rechecks with oncology to be safe. He gets chest x-rays every 3 months and a visit with full like body checks and everything. And then he gets abdominal ultrasounds every 6 months, blood work every 6 months, just to be cautious. So
he's getting the very, very best of care.
Yes.
Yes, he is. And before this comment goes away, we have a wonderful follower in North Carolina. As soon as you said Lieutenant Dan was from North Carolina, I knew she was going to chime in with this question. Do you know what part of North Carolina he's from?
I don't, because we didn't get to like really know about him or see him until he was already in Florida. I didn't get a lot of information. I asked for some just because when we were doing the infectious testing, I wanted to ensure that I looped in the people just in case, but they wanted to just protect people's privacy, which I understand. So I let the people know who knew of them, like that his testing was clear so they could pass it along. But I don't know what part. So.
Right. So he goes through, you get him from Florida. He goes through all these surgeries, comes out just as happy as he can be. It looks like he's got a wonderful personality and loves attention. At what point did you kind of see that story and say, I think like there's something different with this particular dog that we may be able to do something different with and bring some attention to, handicapped dogs?
Really right away. I already had social media for my other female hound dogs, and we made him his own little account. And
Uh-huh.
it kind of took off and people loved his story. We got so many people who would reach out to us and just be like, you don't know how much he inspired me today, like his happiness and his joy. So it started really small just with that and of just sharing his story, sharing his happiness, and getting so many comments and people reaching out and messaging and saying, thank you for just bringing a smile to my face, or thank you for like sharing that, hey, this dog can continue to move forward and do things. And that turned into some people reaching out for like,
Oh,
hey, do you have advice or thoughts on this? And we joined a couple of different groups who have people that either have like bipods or in wheelchairs. We did some virtual help for a couple rescues and fosters who were like trying to get their dogs set up in wheelchairs. And from there, once I also started working with the Humane Society I'm with now and started helping with some paralyzed foster dogs, like one of the ones that's in the picture with Lieutenant Dan, that's my current foster girl, Tammy Amy.
Here.
Then it kind of took off even more, and I was like, we have to continue to promote this and show that these dogs or cats, we've done wheelchair cats, they can live a great life. They can be just as great of a companion. They can go and do everything your regular dog can do. I mean, he travels with us, he paddle boards with me, he hikes with me, he swims with us, he goes and plays with the other dogs. So I was like, we have to share this.
Laura, you might share, what is his page? What's the name on his page so people can find him if they don't know?
Yeah, we're probably most active on Instagram.
Okay.
And his Instagram is Lieutenant. It is spelled out _Dan _the _TWC. Someone else, his original foster had the Lieutenant Dan, the TWC, and we tried to transfer it and she couldn't figure it out. So I had to add the underscores.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
And
We have you got to be involved. We were talking right before we started. We have a mutual friend, Katie Harris, through the Dolly Parton Gala.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that. That sounded really cool. We tried to follow it online to catch all the information. Tell us about that.
Yeah, that was a really cool opportunity. That came on the heels of us. We originally, his first time on the big screen, he was the 2020 Cadbury Bunny.
Oh, nice.
Promoting Candy Cat Pets as the Cadbury Bunny in the commercial. The commercial was during COVID, so everything got a little pushback, and he was in the 2021 commercial. You see him at the end of it licking his lips because we were feeding him peanut butter.
That'll work.
Yeah, we met up with some people through social media and then got reached out to by someone about doing the Dolly Parton Pet Gala and letting him model the Doggy Parton line. So he got to go down to Nashville and walk the stage with a model, modeling some of the Doggy Parton clothing. And
wow,
it was a really great time. There was a lot of people there, and that's where Moxie and Katie got to come as guests. And I remember seeing them, and it was we were there to be the people like behind the scenes and helping the dog. So we didn't really get to like talk to the people, but I remember being like, oh my gosh, look at that dog. She's so cute, and her mom, and that's awesome. And one of her cards was left on one of the little stands in the back, and I grabbed it. And then she reached out on social media after I was intending to reach out to her. So we've chatted a couple of times through there and just talked about, hey, what can we do to help cross promote what we're both doing? So.
Yeah, that's very interesting. So now how do you come about? I like asking people this question. How do you hear about Hero Dog Awards, and what was your first thought about that, and how did you get into that?
Yeah, so as everything, social media is how I feel like we see everything these days. And I had seen that come across our pages. Obviously, the American Humane pages do come across a lot of mine because I am following so many rescue pages. I am in the rescue world. So I was familiar with that organization and then saw that pop up. Actually, last year, we went through the process and made it to the semifinals. And really loved the opportunity and wanted to take that chance again. We just really wanted to, hey, what can we do to get these amazing dogs out there? As you know, there's so many amazing dogs, like seeing all the different dogs in the categories and reading their stories is just so heartwarming and amazing. And I was like, I think it's just another way to show people this dog who can overcome all of this. He can be different. He can still, again, he can live a great life. He can do amazing things, everything from he can go be on the big screen and model some doggy wear to be the Cadbury bunny to doing therapy work, which we jumped into this year as well, now that he's all healed from everything else. And just really wanted to highlight and share that and hope that people will give dogs like him a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that online. Talk to us a little bit about some of the stuff he does in the community with the therapy work and sort of the appearances and different things he does around there.
Yeah, so we just got his therapy certification this year. He's been doing some visits with different organizations prior to that. We work a lot and visit at an adult program near us and work with some disabled adults, just letting them spend some time with him and see a dog in a wheelchair. Some of them are in wheelchairs or have developmental disabilities. So we visit with them, and that's kind of where it started, that I realized he really did well with it. He might come put his face right there. That he did really well with it, and that watching these people break out of their shell, and just even the shy and reserved ones, as we did more and more visits, and even the ones who were like, I'm not sure I like dogs, realized that he could bring a smile to their face and they liked him, and you just see them light up, and it was so heartwarming to see. And we started some other visits as well. So we're like, let's take it from here. Let's see if we can move forward. So we got officially certified with Alliance of Therapy Dogs this year. We do visits. We do a fair amount of adult assisted living facilities, memory care facilities, and then we've done some school visits as well. So everything from talking to Boy Scout troops about medical care for dogs like him, to talking about the shelter world with either him or my foster dogs will go with me into some of those talks as well. And just, anything we can do. We've done some reading to some students as well. That was fun. He really liked the reading. And then from there, just whatever else we can do to get out. I mean, some of it is just his active enjoy. He's, as you can tell, kind of a wild boy. So he does some fun stuff of his own in terms of like his scent work and swimming and stuff like that. And then we also want to stay active in the community to help bring smiles to people's faces and help light up their day.
Well, I can see from like this picture, he's leading the pack here. Are these your other dogs? Are they foster dogs, or who are these?
Those are our dogs. That was from a trip last year, family trip. So those are our all four of our little kids. So his brother Forrest is on the stroller. His not his official brother, but we say brother. He came into my rescue that I worked for a couple years ago. He has severe scoliosis and kyphosis of the thoracic spine. He actually, we were told, probably wouldn't walk past 1 year of age, and is now 4. So he's doing well. And then our little 18-year-old beagle that I'm holding, she just celebrated her 18th birthday. And then our puppy just celebrated her first birthday. And they're all rescue dogs from either locally, or our puppy came from Georgia. She was found on the side of the road with her litter mates, and we brought her and her sister up and got them veterinary care, and then adopted out her sister.
Oh,
That's
what a great looking pack of family dogs. Sweet. That is so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we
like was
to
this
have a
one of your
household.
visits here?
Oh, look.
Yeah, that's one of the memory care units. We really like those. All right, you can't be so loud. Memory care units do hold a special place in my heart. My grandmother does have dementia, so we visit with her a lot too. So you're going to have to get kicked off the camera. He wants to show off now. This is what happens. He's calm and then he wants to show off.
I like it. That's very cool.
He's adorable. Oh.
And that picture is from the Canine Special Games. We linked up with that organization last year. They are amazing. They host and fundraise for the ability for dogs with special needs who are either blind or deaf, tripods, or Lieutenant Dan was their first bipod, to be able to still compete in canine sports. So we have gone up with them twice and competed in rodeo dog, agility, disc, and trick stuff, and gotten to learn how to work with these dogs who are a little bit different but can still thrive and do these amazing sports. And they're a great organization. They're north of me in Columbus, and we try and go up anytime they host an event.
Oh,
He's got a lot to say.
yes, he does.
I read that he's got the wheelchair that he uses. You guys go out to different appearances and things, but what I read was he loves to not use the wheelchair at home, as we can see, and run around.
Yeah. He definitely prefers to not be in it. I mean, wheelchairs are great for his activity. He'll hike 5 miles with me, doing long walks, doing the therapy visits. It does calm him down a little bit too, which helps. He knows he's working if he's in his wheelchair and we're not outside where we're like hiking. But they can't lay down easily in them, especially his body conformation.
Yeah.
He cannot lay down in his wheelchair at all. So it is easy to clip and unclip him and let him lay down, and we travel with a little bed for him. But he definitely prefers to do his own thing. And the majority of the time he is out of his wheelchair. So at home, he's out of his wheelchair. When he competes in both scent work and when we do like the agility classes or his obedience, he's out of his wheelchair. But therapy visits, he's usually in his wheelchair unless we're doing a reading where he's laying down and stuff like that.
Did you say your other dog's name was Forrest or Gump? Did you say Gump?
Say that one more time.
What was your other dog's name? Was it
Forrest.
Gump? Forrest. So you certainly are into the Forrest Gump names here.
Yes. We had to go along that route when we adopted Forrest. Forrest was our second ever foster fail.
Oh,
So
okay.
he was a foster dog that I got a phone call the day he came into the shelter I work at, and they're like, "We have a foster that you have to take. He's your kind. He's got medical needs, and he's a coonhound."
He's your.
They knew what they were doing. They knew he was not going to leave.
They know who to call.
Yeah.
Tell everybody one more time how they can follow Lieutenant Dan, or the place where they can go. I know you have a place on your site where they can request a visit or for you guys to come out. Tell everybody how they can follow you guys.
Yeah. Another easy way too, especially if anybody did want us to come visit, because we are always happy to do visits, either therapy visits or even educational visits. I have done a fair amount of talks about the shelter world in different capacities or veterinary medicine. I'm always happy to talk about that to kids who are interested in pursuing that field or want to learn more about it. Best way to do that, or to find our social media, we do have a website for him. It's Lieutenant, again spelled out, Lieutenant Dan, the TWC.com is his website, and we do put his social media on there. He has a little blog on there that links to his Instagram and is supposed to keep it updated as well. And then I did add a spot for if someone wanted him to come visit and wants a way to contact us, that it'll take you through so you can contact and have him come out for a visit.
Well, it's amazing what you're doing, and it's wonderful to remind people that it's okay to be different,
Yes, absolutely. That is what we 100% want to do, that you can still live an amazing life. You don't have to be ashamed to be a little bit different.
I mean, he is just a bundle of joy.
It looks like a bundle of energy.
Yeah,
he is a bundle of energy. He likes to go and do.
He's all over the place. Well, one of the great things I like about American Humane is that it puts stories out there that we might not normally see or hear about some amazing people that are doing amazing work around the country. And so, we read these 25 stories of these semifinalists, and they all have a wonderful story. But give us one last a spiel about Lieutenant Dan. It is a voting contest. Give us one last spiel about why people should consider voting for Lieutenant Dan.
Yeah, like I said, there's some amazing dogs, and I hope everyone at least goes into every single category and votes for someone in every category. We obviously do hope that people vote for Lieutenant Dan. We just hope that you can see how much joy he has and how much fun he is, and that he can be a great dog. He can tell you about it. That these dogs who are a little bit different, or handy capable, as we like to say, can be a great companion. And we want to continue to promote that and hope that sharing his story through the Hero Dog Awards will help continue to show people that these dogs can live amazing lives and can be a great companion for you, and to just give them a chance. I mean, 7 years later, and he is every day is a smile and fun, and I don't regret it. And I mean, he's amazing.
Yeah, he certainly is.
Yeah, he looks like he's always just a happy little boy. So folks can go to AmericanHumane.org. You can vote once a day, vote once in every category. Go there, read those stories, go and follow Lieutenant Dan on social media. And thank you so much, Laura, for coming on, bringing Lieutenant Dan and telling us a little bit more about his story and your story.
No, thank you for having us. We really appreciate it. We're grateful for the opportunity to continue to share his amazing story.
Yeah, and it's great to see you in person and to see
Yes.
him. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys too.
That's
Okay.
fantastic. Thank you so much, everybody. Go
Bye.
vote, AmericanHumane.org.
Yeah.
Follow Lieutenant Dan. Thank you so much, Laura, and thank you for joining us.